Pace car drops off. We made it a little bit further on this attempt. No liquid down on the track now, and we are ready for green. TJ Reed in the 51, Johnny Van Dorn in the 61. Here we go. Van Dorn, the official pole sitter, brings the field to green. We're off and racing. Roll through turns 1 and 2. Outside lane as expected. As usual here, moving up. It's the preferred groove around Winchester Speedway. The leader for lap 1, Johnny Van Dorn. $25 per lap going to the lap leaders throughout the race. Battle for about the 8th position. Donnie Wilson, the Oklahoma City, Oklahoma driver, racing with Ross Kenseth. Pretty deep into the field. You have to look pretty far back before you see Mason Mingus in the 98 car and the 67 of Jeff Fultz right in front of Eckhoff and Crabtree in their battle. Donnie Wilson has picked up a spot, moved Ross Kenseth back a position, maybe another. Chase Elliott to the inside. Chase Elliott in the Aaron's car to the inside of Ross Kenseth. Elliott, 11 wins in late model competition in 2010. Kenseth's car really free coming off of the corners. Kenseth's fall here early through the field might not be over yet. Joe Beaver racing with Brent Jack. Side-by-side action in front of Johnny Van Dorn, the leader. 20 laps into the books of the Winchester 400 2010. Van Dorn has worked around Scott Whitehouse. He's been able to methodically pick up spot after spot, working through the traffic, putting drivers a lap down. This race also utilizes the lucky dog. Whenever a caution comes out, the first driver 1 lap down will get a lap back. Well, that worked out pretty good for Johnny Van Dorn as Brent Jack and Joe Beaver singled out for him, moved to the bottom, and now Beaver picks up the spot on Jack. Brent Jack is off the pace. The Butler, Indiana driver, Brent Jack, has dropped off, moving over for TJ Reed and TJ Fisher. Van Dorn approaching more slower traffic. 31 of Nick Galata, the 63 of Crabtree. Next 2 to go, and we have our first yellow. Caution for debris on the raceway. The 0 of Joe Beaver will be the lucky dog. Caution for debris. Lap cars on the bottom, they are Scott Whitehouse, Colin Nicolai, Brandon Fagan, Jay Newick, and Brent Jack. Coming to green, lap 35 at the line. Johnny Van Dorn, the leader. 30 cars on the lead lap. Just 2 have gone pit side, the 18 of Taylor with that leak before the start of the race, and the 71 of Keith Sturkowitz. The top 5 have cleared the slower traffic. The 14 of Tommy St. John has gone to the pits. The Welch & Wilson Motorsports, number 14 of Tommy St. John, pit side. .45 laps complete. That time at the stripe for Johnny Van Dorn. He catches Damon Eckhoff in the 15, puts that driver 1 more lap down. That'll be the 2nd lap down. The 15 of Eckhoff has gone here early on. Fisher looking back to the bottom. And TJ Fisher picks up the 2nd spot from TJ Reed. Reed has dropped off the pace. Tommy St. John gets by. Scott Hans closing. The Kyle Busch Motorsports 51 of TJ Reed struggling now with 60 laps in. Definitely dropping right now is TJ Reed. After his win in Nashville a couple of weeks ago, Scott Hans next to make a run, and the field lining up, lead lap cars behind him could shuffle him deep into the field. The lead getting bigger for Johnny Van Dorn. It's a half straightaway over the 81 of Terry Fisher Jr., who's having a great run, but you know that team and Fisher a little bit worried about the smoke coming out of that car. Uh-oh, Scott Hans, 72 car, has blown up. Scott Hans, former Winchester 400 winner, has uncorked the engine. Fortunately, it was coming out of the exhaust. I don't think it put anything down on the track. He moves over to the inside. 16 through 20, Dennis Schoenfeld, Derek Griffin, Kenny Tweedy, J.R. Rohrig, and Nick Galata And Aaron Pierce in the 31 car. Oh, trouble on the backstretch. 16 car of Tim Steele. I think the 14 of Tommy St. John and the number 16 of Tim Steele on the backstretch. Cars on the move. Donnie Wilson, the 82. Chase Elliott in the 9. And David Strimmy in the 35. Trouble for Ross Kinseth. Ross Kinseth in the 25 car. One on the lead lap now for this Winchester 400. 96 laps in. Lap cars falling quickly on the inside. Up front, TJ Reed in the 51. Looks to the bottom of Johnny Van Dorn. Battle for the lead on the backstretch. They go to 3. Van Dorn giving up the lead to the 51 of TJ Reed. Donnie Wilson strong as well. He takes second from Van Dorn. But it does look like the number 10 car, just as I mentioned him, Griffin, putting out some smoke. Derek Griffin, who has had a great run from 26th up to 8th. One of the better young drivers in the state of Indiana right now. Winner of the Stan Perry Memorial Race at Angola Motor Speedway earlier this season. Starting to fade now. Smoke coming out of the car as he falls into the grasp of Brian Campbell. And Griffin does drop off and will head to the pits. Terrible break for Derek Griffin, who had a stout car here early. For drivers that haven't gone pit side, and not a lot of the leaders have, that would really start shaking things up in this Winchester 400. It's been a clean race. A Ross Kinseth accident on the front stretch. A Tim Steele and Tommy St. John a problem. And we got trouble down in turn 3 now. We will see a caution. In turn 3, cars stopped in turn 3 in the bottom. Even Terry Fisher Jr., who made a pit stop earlier, is coming to the pits, probably for a couple more tires. Action up and down pit road. See Johnny Van Dorn, who led the early stages of the race till about lap 100. Work going on there. Right near the finish line. Was really good on new tires. Car faded a little bit towards the end. He makes it out of his pit. So does Chase Elliott. Van Dorn beats Elliott. Grim Automotive pace car drops off. It's Johnny Van Dorn, Chase Elliott, Josh Hamner, Donnie Wilson, and Rick Turner top 5 to the green. David Strimmy in 6th. Dennis Schoenfeld 7th. Brian Reevely 8th. And we're back underway on the high banks. Lap 152 complete. Chuck Barnes Jr. in 13th. 14th, Terry Fisher Jr. 15th, Jim Crabtree Jr. 16th, Jeff Foltz. And trouble down in the corner. Big trouble. TJ Reed in the 51 car involved. 2 car of Kenny Tweedy. 11 car of Jeff Lane all stopped. Trying to hold back Jeff Lane. Here we go. Back to green. Down into 1 and 2. First 2 have gotten around the slower cars. Now it's the first 3, 4, and 5 cars making it out front in front of Brandon Fagan, who's down a few laps. Series champion last year and this year, looking for fourth on the inside lane. He's got it down in turn one, moves back up into the preferred groove, and Chase Elliott, the youngster, tries to follow. Chase Elliott, the number 9 car, moves to the inside of Brian Reevely. Looking for the 5th spot is Elliott. He's about to take it away from the Daleville, Indiana driver, Brian Reevely. Elliott has the 1 car, Reevely clear, just able to clear him down the back stretch. A little bit of contact between Hamner and Reevely. They bump tires. Stremmy's lost second. David Stremme back to third. His car was good on the long run earlier, but he's not up to speed now. David Stremme's 35 car slow. Back to fourth he goes. Cross flags will be shown this time by for the 26 of Rick Turner. Now Elliott has slid back a little bit. Will try to drop into line behind Wilson. Donnie Wilson now looks to the inside of Schoenfeld for third. Boy, you give Wilson a few green flag laps and that car is stout. A little bobble from him coming off of 2. Chase Elliott comes along with Wilson now. Schoenfeld slows a little bit and loses 3, maybe 4 spots on the front stretch. Dennis Schoenfeld has lost a handful of positions the last circuit or 2. Chuck Barnes Jr. continues his move back forward again. Gets by Schoenfeld in 3. Car is hooked up, and it can do it on the bottom. That might be a key today. He gets to the inside of Van Dorn and shoots by him like a rocket. Donnie Wilson into second. Chase Elliott will try to follow him into third. Stremme doesn't get to the bottom of the track, so Wilson goes underneath him. David Stremme, first car down 1 lap. Chase Elliott goes to the inside. Stremme really dropping through the field, of course. Down 1 circuit. Still the lucky dog if he could get a yellow. And he's going to get one. There is debris over in turn 4. Some debris in turn 4. You can see the track crew heading out that way.